Hello, guys. Welcome to Through the Wire. This is your boy, Sherlock Holmes. I got my man, Ace, with me.
How's it going?
So, for today's video, we're going to be talking about a hot trade rumor. Seen it, you've heard of it. Is James Harden being heavily linked with the 76ers? So, what are your thoughts on this?
Personally, I don't feel like it's a good idea for either Houston or Philly. It's more like a sidestep. James Harden, he in the playoffs, you've seen how he's really not a player that can really take it to the next level. He's a regular season MVP caliber player, and there's no doubt about that. But beyond that, I'm looking at Philly's roster right now. Matisse Thybulle, Al Horford. 76ers is one of the teams that is a candidate for trading for him. Same thing with Brooklyn Nets and other teams. I'd rather him just stay inside Houston for another year, figure out if the coach fits. They try the D'Antoni system, his philosophy, small ball, all threes. Now for another GM to figure out to restructure their roster up and a coach. But how about you feel about that? Do you personally think is a good trade for Philly or Brooklyn, whatever team he possibly goes to?
I think Philly is a perfect fit for James Harden. When you look at it, they just signed Dale Murray as their president, so mob ties, and you saw all the great things that he did in Houston with James Harden. And I just see that James Harden and Joel Embiid could be a dynamic duo that could cause the very weak East a lot of problems, especially if you retool the team around James Harden. He's shown that he could take a team to the conference finals at least and be one of arguably the greatest teams of all almost be one of the greatest teams of all time with the Golden State, one hamstring pull away from the finals. So I really think this is a new start for them. I feel like Houston has done all that they could with James Harden. I feel like they can't get any more out of him, and I think it's best for both teams. I mean, both parties to part ways. And I think Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons experiment really isn't working. So maybe send him to the Houston Rockets along with a player like Al Horford, maybe Josh Richardson, and yeah, that'd be a decent trade in my opinion.
Okay. So what you said makes sense. And I believe that he should stay for another year, possibly figure out when you have a new year, like it is this year, it was coronavirus and it was a pandemic. So things really were out of hand for him when it comes to like the system they were playing with. And it was D'Antoni's last year on the contract. So I believe it just didn't really work out. And I don't think he's ever gonna win a ring how depending on if other teams are healthy. If Denver Nuggets keep more cohesion, develop their young talent, they're possibly a dynasty. Golden State's still better than them. Any team he faces inside the East, if the Raptors get an all-star caliber player, they're always going to go back there. Same thing with the Bucks. Same thing with the Nets. So if depending on him possibly getting a ring, I don't think he ever will probably get a ring, as the way things are right now. But if things change, I think he's probably able to get a ring. How do you feel about that?
I agree with you, man. Just the teams around him, right? When you talk about unlucky guys, James Harden easily falls in that category. Just look at the competition he's playing against, man. You're playing at an MVP caliber level, and you look at that team that almost beat Golden State. Like just how unlucky you are to lose Chris Paul up what they were up 3-2, right? Had to win
It was
two
a three.
games
Mm-hmm.
and then they lost back to back, and that's gotta hurt. I feel like that's the closest he's got to a ring, and maybe the closest he'll ever get to a ring. The East has gotten harder. You got Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. You got the Raptors. You got the young Boston team. You got Miami that showed that they will compete with for years to come. And then out west, you got the Clippers. You got the Lakers. You have Denver, and just the young talent that keeps popping up. So even if he does end up in Philly, that he has a decent opportunity to go to a conference finals, but I don't see anybody in the East beating a healthy Kevin Durant. That man is just a terrifying human being on the basketball court. So I don't see that possibility happening.
Okay, so that's everything you said today about possibly James Harden, his longevity in the league when it comes to rings and other things, and as if he could possibly get traded. I think ideally he probably be best traded to Philly as well. I agree with you on that, but I don't believe that he should be traded at all in any scenario as the way things are right now. NBA can change literally one game at a time. Players can develop more on his team, even though that's high unlikely. Other teams can take a back step, like the Lakers, LeBron's age, Anthony Davis as well, possibly. You never really know. It could be an opportunity for him to possibly go to the finals and get that ring. And as for that, I would like to end this video and like to say subscribe and like and comment if you guys feel like the opinions we said today don't really go along with your ideas of James Harden and like possibility of him fitting in with the Philadelphia if he's possibly traded to that team. And that's it. Anything you want to wrap it up with? Sherlock Holmes?
Nah, man. Just to add to what you said, man. Yeah, let's have a dialogue, man. You guys feel welcome to comment. I want to hear what your guys' opinions are. So let us know. Like Ace said, like, comment, and subscribe, man. See y'all next episode.